Hello Driver Associates, Angel Chavez here, Director of Shop Operations, Training and Compliance. Today I want to talk to you about the upcoming brake safety campaign that will be conducted during the week of August 23rd through 29th. The Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance, or CVSA, will be conducting a Level 4 inspection, which is a Level 1 inspection, a complete inspection of the entire vehicle, along with a focus on a specific area. Now this go around, they're going to be focusing on brake hose and tubing. So we are asking our driver associates that during your routine pre and post trip inspection that you pay attention to these items just a little bit more closely. Now the shop will be conducting a full inspection as usual and make sure that these vehicles are DOT compliant and should pass every inspection. But as you know, going down the road, things tend to vibrate and shake loose and shift in place and things begin to start rubbing. So we're asking you to look at these things to make sure that nothing has started rubbing or are there any air leaks that could potentially cause some more downtime for you. Now, please listen along as Scott will direct you how to actually look at these things a little bit more closely during your routine pre-trip.
Now, if you'll notice, the trailer supply lines have this plastic wrapping around there. That's very important. No air line or the electric line can rub against any part of the component. Well, naturally, these things don't ever lay perfect. So the thought is that with that covering on there, if it happens to contact the spare tire or the back of the cab, it's protected. So the line itself is not rubbing. So it has to have that protective covering on there. It has to be properly suspended. And by properly suspended means it cannot come into contact with the chassis or any other part of the device, right? So if you look here, this one here is just barely off the catwalk. Now, in a legal, illegal standpoint, that's legal. It's not going to contact anything, but you want to watch in the case of when these springs start to stretch or walk, that it starts to hang lower to the chassis. If that's the case, it can become caught on the catwalk or on the frame or something like that, and that in a tight turn, that could possibly tear the airlines loose or go ahead and cut the airline, and that's not a good thing. So always make sure it can't contact any part of the chassis of the trailer. Make sure that the glad hands are still fully locked in place. But one of the things I'm going to look for underneath here is the slider tandem hoses. Now those are your brake lines for the trailer. Now they're on a separate hose that's suspended because the trailer has sliding suspension, so they have to be able to move with it. So most of the time you're going to have your trailer tandem slid a little bit forward to be able to scale correctly and also meet scale laws in the states that have actual bridge formulas. So we want to make sure that the lines have no danger of touching the ground. Otherwise they'll just drag and they'll wear a hole in them before too long. So the spec for Swift is 18 inches off the ground. And that is with the tandem slid all the way forward. For your pre-trip, you just want to make sure you have no less room than the axle would have. So this way you make sure that anything that may blow in the road or something like that, this thing has no chance of catching on.